MrBeast has been caught in the Chris Tyson drama, and all of his old Discord messages were leaked. MrBeast was also responsible for all the messages sent in the Discord server, where Chris was talking very inappropriately about minors, and MrBeast participated in it as well. Now, many of you would ask if these screenshots were fake. The answer is no. It's all real. Some users dug out the user IDs of MrBeast and his crew, and by checking the profile, MrBeast's profile was found to be active. When checked for connections on the profile, MrBeast's gaming channel was found. And for your information, only YouTube account owners can link their YouTube to their Discord profile. What do you think of this situation? It's absolutely insane, right? I mean, we're talking about the biggest YouTuber in the world here, and now he's caught up in this disgusting scandal. But before we dive deeper into this mess, let me tell you guys, this video is going to be wild. We're talking leaked messages, Discord drama, and some seriously messed up allegations. So remember that ex-employee Dog Pack who exposed MrBeast a while back? Well, he's back with a part 2 video titled, "I worked for MrBeast, he's a sociopath." And holy crap, the stuff in this is next level. We're talking borderline torture, working with convicted offenders, cover-ups. It's like a freaking movie plot. Let's break this down, starting with the most messed up allegation. According to Jake Wedd, a former contestant, MrBeast had a convicted SA offender with a child victim working on his team. And get this, the guy was allegedly even on camera in one of the videos.
I'm Jake Weddle. If you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor.
For a channel whose audience is mostly kids, that is beyond fucked up. Jake claims this dude was known as Delaware because he's not allowed back in that state due to his crimes. I mean, what the actual fuck? Why are people joking about something like that? And apparently, there's video evidence of MrBeast himself using this nickname. Upper Echelon found a clip where Jimmy says, "Don't touch Delaware's cracker," during that insane asylum video.
He's eating this cracker.
I'm hungry.
He's after my hungry.
Don't touch Delaware's cracker. Chandler doesn't have.
If this is true, it's some seriously sick stuff. Why the hell would you have someone like that on set, let alone joke about their crimes? That's bottom of the barrel. Absolutely horrid behavior. But it gets even worse. Jake says the MrBeast team was trying to expunge this guy's record to cover it up. Like, how does something like this even happen at such a massive company? Jimmy, you've got some serious explaining to do, my guy. Now let's talk about the solitary confinement challenge. Jake Wedd claims he was basically tortured during the 100 days in solitary confinement video. Apparently it was pitched as this luxury vacation type deal where you'd have a hot tub and ice cream machine. But the reality was way different. Jake says the set smelled awful, he couldn't sleep because they kept the lights on 24/7 and he had no access to sunlight or clocks. When he asked for nighttime hours, they refused because it would mess up the time-lapse shots. That's some serious disregard for someone's well-being.
100 days in solitary confinement, but don't worry, like you only have to last like 30, we have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, today, and they had like the choice. And I mean they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. A hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system. Give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. And the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes. On, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. They weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep. And I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. And I go up to my friend, my good friend.
He even says a friend told him, "That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists." Now, I don't know if it actually qualifies as a war crime, but it's still pretty fucked up. Especially coming from Mr. Wholesome MrBeast, who's supposed to be this kind-hearted angel, right? Jake claims he developed insomnia from the experience and couldn't walk properly after being forced to run a marathon on a treadmill. And when he wanted to quit, there was apparently tons of pressure to keep going. MrBeast allegedly told him, "Can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?"
Can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
That's some manipulative bullshit right there. Now, MrBeast defenders are probably going to be like, he signed up for it, stop whining. But here's the thing, when you dangle life-changing money in front of someone, it affects their judgment. And if what Jake's saying is true, the challenge was way more extreme than what was initially described. This isn't the first time we've heard about contestants being mistreated either. Remember those Beast Games allegations where people claimed they were injured and denied medication? It's starting to look like a pattern of reckless disregard for people's safety. Moving on to some shadier business practices. Dogpack shared an internal MrBeast document with a section called "No does not mean no." Now, it's not talking about consent, but it's still a fucked up phrase to use. Basically, it's telling employees to keep pushing even when people say no to requests. This mentality could lead to some really unethical behavior, like if an employee feels pressured to make something happen or risk losing their job, they might start lying or bending the truth. It's a slippery slope. Now let's talk about those giveaways and lotteries MrBeast does. Turns out, a lot of that stuff is borderline illegal. They'd do things like, say, buy in the next 5 minutes for a chance to win, and then change the rules 7 minutes later. That's some scammy behavior right there. And get this, in a 5-hour stream, they gave away about $50,000 worth of stuff, but sold over 50,000 t-shirts at $42 each. Even with a tiny profit margin, they're still making bank. MrBeast is out here flipping these massively profitable, illegal lotteries targeted at kids as some act of generosity. It's insane! Oh, and remember how I defended MrBeast against Rosanna Pansino when she called him out for faking that hide-and-seek challenge? Well, I gotta take the L on that one. Turns out she was right. If MrBeast is actually rigging these challenges and eliminating people unfairly, that's some seriously scummy behavior. Speaking of rigged challenges, let's talk about that real-time video. You know, the one where time is supposed to elapse the same in the video as real life? Yeah, that was fake as fuck. The intro is sped up, the timer is added in post, and there's clear evidence of manipulation throughout. Like those water valves MrBeast had to turn, they weren't even connected to anything. The water flows instantly, even when he's not touching the valve. It's pretty obvious the producers were controlling everything to create artificial tension. And you know all those videos that end with 0.1 seconds left? Yeah, those are fake too. MrBeast is fabricating that shit to make the videos more interesting. In reality, these challenges probably end way earlier and way less dramatically. Now, here's where it gets really sus. After all these allegations came out, the MrBeast team started going back and quietly editing old videos. We're talking deleting over 20,000 comments, purging entire sections of videos, and removing anything that could be considered shady or illegal. Upper Echelon did some digging and found that on just one video, they deleted 26,000 comments in a 36-hour period. They're mass deleting comments with words like script and fake. They even went back to a 6-year-old video and deleted an entire month of comments. Like, why would you do that unless you've got something to hide? It's sketchy as hell. And don't even get me started on Feastables. Remember when MrBeast said it was going to be this healthy chocolate bar with only 4 ingredients? Well, he changed the formula and now it's loaded with sugar. It's got more calories per bar than a freaking Hershey's. The worst part is, that initial ad where he calls it healthy is still getting millions of views a month. He's basically tricking people into buying this unhealthy crap under the guise of it being good for you. As someone who nearly died from health issues related to sugar, that pisses me off. Now, MrBeast isn't taking all this lying down. He sent Dogpack a cease and desist letter trying to shut him up, but Dogpack ain't having it. He made this hilarious meme video response that absolutely roasts MrBeast. He calls out the Team C's campaign for only removing 34 million pounds of trash in 991 days, when 90 million pounds of plastic enter the ocean every day. He He points out how MrBeast is basically just bringing new customers to the candy aisle with Feastables. He even throws shade at MrBeast for pretending to be poor while filming in a $60 million studio. But here's where it gets really wild. Dogpack says he's got a part 2 coming that's going to be even more damaging to MrBeast's career. I can't even imagine what he's going to reveal, but I'm hyped. Oh, and apparently, MrBeast sent a second cease and desist, calling it a final warning. Like, what are you gonna do, Jimmy? Send the MrBeast Mafia after him? The craziest part is, people have allegedly been threatening Dogpack. He says his number got leaked by a MrBeast employee, and he's been getting creepy texts. One claimed that MrBeast wants to hire private investigators to follow him and dig up dirt on his family. Now, I don't think MrBeast actually did this, but if he did, that's some supervillain shit. So here's my take on all this. MrBeast, if you're reading this, you need to address these allegations head on. You've got 50 channels. Use one of them to clear your name. The fact that you're trying to silence people instead of proving your innocence is sus as hell. And to all you MrBeast defenders out there, I get it. The guy does a lot of good, but that doesn't mean he's immune to criticism. We need to hold these massive creators accountable, especially when there are serious allegations like this. Some serious problems have come up that could really hurt MrBeast's reputation and career. It all started with a viral video that's sending shockwaves through social media, titled, "I worked for MrBeast and he's a fraud." This expose by a former employee, known as Dogpack404, is pulling back the curtain on MrBeast's operation, and what's being revealed isn't pretty. The video, which mysteriously doesn't appear in YouTube's search results despite having over 200,000 views, drops some serious bombshells. We're talking about faked videos, gambling promotions aimed at kids, illegal lotteries, rigged games with massive prize money, unfulfilled prize promises, false advertising, and exploitation. There are many serious claims against MrBeast that could ruin his career if they turn out to be true, starting with the claim that MrBeast's videos are fake. Now, Jimmy's always insisted his content is unscripted, but the evidence suggests otherwise. We're not just talking about a little touch-up here and there. We're looking at full-blown CGI train tracks, digitally lifted cars, fake explosions, and even paid actors posing as contestants. It's like a Hollywood movie set, not the raw, real challenges MrBeast claims to deliver, but it gets worse. Remember Mac, that lovable underdog who kept showing up in MrBeast's videos? Turns out he's not some random guy off the street. Public records show that just 2 months before he started appearing in videos, Mac moved from California to Greenville, North Carolina, where MrBeast is located. Mac is living in a $1 million mansion, complete with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms. Not exactly the lifestyle of the average MrBeast contestant. Even MrBeast's personal challenges, the ones that made him famous, are under scrutiny. Take the 7-day stranded at sea video. It sounds grueling, but time-lapse footage tells a different story. 1 minute the shelter's empty, the next, it's full of people, some wearing rain jackets that weren't there before. It doesn't take a detective to figure out that MrBeast probably wasn't rafting all night. Now let's talk about those challenges with the big prize money, where random subscribers compete for life-changing sums. It turns out many of these random folks are actually friends, family, or employees of MrBeast. In one Boys vs. Girls challenge, MrBeast paid one of the boys $10,000 to leave. That's twice the prize money. Remember Rosanna Pansino? She's not too happy with MrBeast either. During a $1 million hide-and-seek challenge, she claims she was unfairly eliminated while other contestants broke rules left and right, and when the final results came out, the top spots went to the big-name YouTubers. In one of MrBeast's real-time challenge videos, a segment featuring water valves caught the attention of viewers and critics. These valves were presented as a crucial element of the challenge, supposedly requiring contestants to manipulate them to control water flow as part of their task. However, upon closer inspection, several suspicious details emerged that cast doubt on the authenticity of this setup. Observers noted that when the valves were turned, water seemed to flow out instantaneously. This is unusual in real plumbing systems, which typically have a slight delay due to air in the pipes and the need for water pressure to build up. Moreover, the valves appeared to have no actual connection to a water source, suggesting they were mere props rather than functional plumbing fixtures. Further inconsistencies were apparent in how contestants interacted with the valves. They were seen spinning them freely, even after water had supposedly been released. In a genuine scenario, there would be some resistance once water started flowing. Even water sometimes flowed when contestants weren't even touching the valves. These observations led to speculation that producers were likely stationed off-camera with remote switches to trigger the water flow at dramatic moments. This level of behind-the-scenes manipulation would allow them to decide how many valve turns it took to activate the water, or when to trigger it, all in service of creating tension or influencing the challenge's outcome. But the controversy doesn't stop at the video content. MrBeast's business practices are raising eyebrows too. Take the subscribe for a cookie banner on his channel. But when your audience is mostly kids who might not get the sarcasm, it starts to look a lot like exploitation. Even PewDiePie, another YouTube giant, has called out these kinds of tactics. Then there are the merchandise sales and giveaways. During live streams, MrBeast plays with the rules, promising prizes to buyers within specific timeframes and then changing the conditions on a whim. In one stream, he gave away about $50,000 in prizes. Sounds generous until you realize he sold over 50,000 t-shirts at $42 each. You don't need to be a maths genius to see that MrBeast isn't exactly losing money here. The complaints are piling up. Reddit is full of users claiming they never received promised prizes or were misled by changing giveaway rules. One user said they spent money they honestly didn't have on multiple shirts, hoping to win prizes for their family. All they got was overpriced merch and disappointment. There's evidence that MrBeast's team members have been forging his signature on items. A clip shows a team member signing MB, then covering it with their own initials. Even MrBeast's venture into the food industry is leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. Remember Feastables? Those chocolate bars were initially marketed as a healthy snack with only 4 ingredients. Fast forward to 2024, and they've got more sugar and calories than a Hershey's bar. MrBeast's challenges, with their massive prize pools, are starting to look a lot like the game shows you see on TV, and TV games are regulated. There's a rule called 47 USC 509 that says it's not okay to cheat in contests that are supposed to be fair. This law stops people from deciding who wins before the contest starts or trying to change who wins during the contest. MrBeast might be breaking this rule when he pays people to quit contests or changes how things look when he edits his videos. These actions could get him into trouble with the law. Sure, YouTube isn't traditional TV, but when your videos are pulling in more viewers than most primetime shows, you must be held accountable to the same standards as TV shows. The recent Beast Games competition show, set to be released on Amazon Prime, has also unleashed a controversy surrounding MrBeast's production practices. Rosanna Pansino, a prominent YouTuber, brought these issues to light by sharing information from 10 separate sources who participated in the event. Their accounts paint a disturbing picture of the conditions during filming, far removed from the fun and exciting competition that was promised. According to these reports, participants faced serious health risks during the production. Some contestants suffered seizures because they were not given access to their necessary medications, despite assurances that medical needs would be accommodated. The physical nature of the games led to numerous injuries. Contestants reportedly suffered broken bones and required stitches. Male contestants allegedly realized they could physically target female participants without facing elimination. This led to women being tackled and even knocked unconscious. Sleep deprivation was another major issue. Contestants were reportedly allowed only 3 to 4 hours of sleep per night and forced to rest on the floor of the stadium in cheap $10 sleeping bags. Participants were given meager meals of around 400 calories, served only every 12 hours. This led to a scenario where people fought over, stole, and hoarded what little food was available. Water shortages were also common, leaving contestants dehydrated. Personal hygiene was neglected as well. One participant reported having to endure wearing a bloody pad for 2 days before being able to access proper sanitary products. It's like MrBeast took the beast part of his name a little too literally. These conditions more closely resemble a survival challenge gone wrong than a fun game show. The comparison to the Hunger Games is suitable, as contestants were forced to endure physical hardships, compete in dangerous conditions, and fight for basic necessities, all while cameras rolled for the sake of entertainment. MrBeast's team reportedly offered $1,000 to losing contestants to sign away their rights to join any class action lawsuit. When the story broke, they allegedly tried to smooth things over with another $1,000 per person for inconveniences. A clip showing MrBeast directing contestants to act shocked and emotional. It's the ultimate proof that what we're seeing isn't real emotion, but a carefully crafted performance. For MrBeast, the coming months will be crucial. He's facing not just the court of public opinion, but potentially real courts too. His empire, built on a foundation of spectacle and generosity, is showing cracks. And as more people come forward, those cracks are only going to widen. The question now is, can MrBeast address these allegations, make amends, and rebuild trust with his audience? Or is this the beginning of the end for YouTube's golden boy? Tell us in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to e-commerce for more videos.